let's move on to Alicia's film tonight, Tomb Raider. It opens Thursday, March the 15th, and you are the new Lara Croft. And obviously, not like Tonya Harding, you're not a real person, but people have such a clear vision of who this woman is. You must feel a kind of similar pressure. Yeah, my breasts are not as pointy as the first one. No, I mean, yeah, she's been with us for like, what is it, 22 years? And I actually...
I'm like a huge fan of Tomb Raider. Like, I'm so excited.
I was, you know, we grew up with MSN things. I also grew up in a time where there was none of my girlfriends who played video games. And I kind of kept it, you know, I was kind of ashamed of doing it. But I was at my parents' friend's house, and their kids had a PlayStation. And I went there, and I remember I walked into the room and saw it was a female protagonist in a video game. And I had never seen that. And yeah, I was a bit too scared to play the whole game when I was about 10, so I mostly spent the time kind of doing the tricks and her learning her moves and the manner. But no, I was a big fan when I was a kid. Because Daniel, are you a big gamer? Do you play a lot of games?
No, because it ruins my life. it just ruins my... I've got things to do, man. I've got
That's such a good answer. I kind of realised that now when I did it, because I did play the games before I did the film, and I was like, wow, I had way too much time when I was a child.
How long did you have to train for that? Like,
so I did about 4 months before I started to shoot when I got into...
Your arms are, like, ripped.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It takes, I'm not kidding, 4 months for me. I'd never lifted a thing with my arms. I did ballet.
Not even an Oscar.
That's why you need 2 hands.
I can't bring that home.
So it takes about 4 months to... You know, I remember that my trainer told me, he was like, they're really underdeveloped. I remember that. I was like, oh, really? OK, and then... but then 4 months later, you know, he managed... I told him, I don't believe you. But, yeah.
But you have to, because it is non-stop,
So it takes 4 months, but then it takes 3 weeks for you to lose it all.
Yeah.
That is the sad bit.
Wait,
wow.
3 weeks to lose... 3 weeks to just go out of shape like that?
I thought I was going to stick like this.
Get muscle and get it to lose it.
Crazy.
So
That's not fair.
Terrible. So in terms of voices, I didn't know this till we were covering the show, that Gary Oldman, you are the voice in Call of Duty.
Yes, one of them.
Wow.
I'm General Reznov. Yeah. I'm more famous for that than anything else, I tell you.
That's a big deal.
What's Call of Duty?
It's a World War...
It's not that big a deal.
I'm not down with
No, it's a World War II...
That's what they call a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Where you kind of take control of a warrior.
Yeah.
You take control of a warrior.
You take control of a brave warrior and guide him through battles of the Second World War.
So you do play it? So do you play it? You play it?
Oh, I have done, yeah. I mean, I have a baby now, so I can't really break away from fatherhood to say, I'm going to go upstairs for 5 hours and shoot people. It doesn't cut any mustard, so... No, I've kind of given up, really.
But how much do you say in it?
Tons, yeah. I mean, it's 4 days in a studio, and you literally scream your head off. I mean, I've never shouted so much in... I mean, you have to do it in, like, 4-minute bursts, because there's all the sort of variables that the directives that the player can go. So you have to give them all the options. And they have this thing, which is battle cry, which is your voice, but it's over music and battle sounds. So it literally is a scream fest for about 4 days. But I was in one with Kiefer Sutherland. It was funny, and he came out and he said, "Hey, man," he said, "I haven't screamed so much since I was married."
But how loud do you get?
I could do it for you.
Do it.
Well, it's sort of like,
There! On the ledge! Shoot him! The tank! Under the crowd! For 4 days. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Carrey is back in the world in Sonic the Hedgehog. It opens on 14th of February, which is a Valentine's treat, surely.
That's right. It's all about the love.
It is. But you're not giving us your hedgehog.
What did you say to me?
You're not Sonic the Hedgehog.
I am not Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm the evil genius.
Yes, Dr. Robotnik.
Dr. Robotnik, yes.
So what's his story? What's his beef with the Hedgehog?
Genius. It's genius meets total self-loathing, and it's a beautiful combination.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that running around right now. You know, people who are countries unto themselves, who have billions of dollars, and, you know, ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is about a very fast hedgehog, also.
It is about a very fast hedgehog. Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah, that is part of the story.
I suppose it is.
Yes.
Yeah, but it is really fun to kind of just, you know, open the door of the corral and let the Mustang run for a second. You know, just have fun. And you know, I don't know if there's a word that was in the script that's actually in the movie, but it was total desperation the whole time. But it's really a blast because
you look like you're having so much fun in this film.
I am. I'm absolutely having the best time of my life.
Yeah. And of course, for some people living under rocks may not know, Sonic the Hedgehog was, of course, a computer game back in the day.
It surely was. And we're trying to get kids away from the computer games and back into the theater to watch movies about computer games. That's the real thing. But I did see a child burst out of the doors of the theater during one of the screenings and run like Sonic, which is like the magic of movies, right? Cool. Is when the kid wants to be the character in the movie, you know, so... Just make sure they don't run into traffic or anything. Keep a hold of them when they first come out of the theater.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
Keely, I did not know this about you. Now, I don't know, do you play Tomb Raider at all?
Don't be ridiculous. No.
I thought you might.
No, but I like the girl in it.
Lara Croft?
Yeah, and the shorts.
Now, have you played Tomb Raider, Meryl?
What?
Tomb Raider?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, at least Lara knows the girl Lara Croft. Well... Shut your eyes, Hugh Grant, because the voice of Lara Croft is sitting beside you.
Oh, look. What?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, that's not...
That's the voice.
Of the game.
Oh.
Yes. The voice of Lara Croft is Keely Hawes. Now, apparently, this got confusing for your son. Is this true?
It did. When I first started doing it, my son, who will kill me after this story, my son, who's now 15, but was quite little, and he could never get past the first stage, and so you just make her run around and sort of swim and rock climb and things. But she wears these shorts, you know, and so he was doing that, and then he came running and he said, "Mummy," I said, "How's it going? You know, you enjoying the?" He said, "I like the way the lady runs." The lady with Mummy's voice was a bit...
Did you then ban him from playing that game?
Yes,
you did. But I've spoken to people who've done this, and it's not as simple. You don't just say the lines. I mean, it takes hours and hours, doesn't it? Because don't you have to make every little noise that you might ever conceivably make?
Yeah.
Well, let me say, a person, let's call them a fan, has put together, seriously, every noise you make.
Not every noise.
I beg to differ. I think we are about to hear every noise you make. It takes a little while. You can shut your eyes, you'll enjoy this. This is the vocal stylings of Keely Hawes as Lara Croft. Here we go.
Oh, God. Someone has taken the time to put this together. That's a falling off a cliff death.
There's a really long one in a second. She's done! Hey! Excellent work. Excellent work. Michael and Marion together in Assassin's Creed. It's based on a video game, but apparently 100 million copies of this game have been sold. So you only really need a few of those people to go to your movie.
That's what I said.
So you'd never played the game before?
No.
Marion?
No.
Have you played it now?
I have.
But
I haven't.
But was it helpful? No.
Yes. It was helpful for me because basically there's a lot of parkour in the game, which is, I guess, kind of urban gymnastics.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of that. And basically the action takes place in the regression. We go back to 15th century Spain, Spanish Inquisition. And so by hooking up to this machine called the animus, we can... it's sort of like, I guess, a genetic DeLorean. It's like a genetic time machine that allows you to go back to various times in history and, through your ancestor, relive their experiences.
And
so Marion's trying to locate...
You're kind of more the sciencey person.
Yes.
Here comes the science part.
Yeah. The science part is working with the animus and using people as Callum Lynch, played by Michael, to help her reach this goal and finding the apple of Eden, where the code she's searching for is.
And Michael Fassbender, you learned some special skills, I believe, for this film.
That's right. As I was saying, the parkour elements. So I got to perfect the roly-poly.
Now, you must have known how to do a roly-poly at one time in your life.
That you could do one?
Not now. I'm 53. But when I was 13, I could do a roly-poly.
You think you can do a roly-poly?
No, because I have tried.
That's right.
It? I don't know what it's like.
Roly-poly, it's a head over heels thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Do you want to see?
Oh, yes.
Of course.
Well, I might tear the suit, though. That's the problem. You have to do it with me.
But
I'm going to show you that.
do it.
Yes, you can.
No, I will look. No, I will look. Come on. No, I will look. I will look like... It will look like abuse. No, it will look like abuse in a nursing home. It will look like you've dragged someone out of bed and you're kicking them down the corridor.
We have to show Marion how exactly it works.
You do it first. Okay, you do it first.
So basically, I'm going to end up off the stage.
Don't do that. But are you going to do a really fancy one?
No, so basically you have to keep your hand...
I could never do that. Never do that. But try it. No, I used to do... I thought you were just going to do that thing where you do that and then just roll over.
No, but then you hurt yourself.
I could never do that.
But if you place your forearm down first and then tuck your head over.
I can't do that.
Try it.
I'll die. This is awful. What about
I'll just stand here in case you go off the edge.
But I wasn't really paying attention. So you...
Yeah, so you... Hands, forearm,
yes,
and then tuck your shoulder over and stay on that side. Don't go straight down your spine. But hand, arm, and just tuck your head over.
Okay, so...
Don't think about it too much.
Hand, hang on. Hand, arm, and then I just go over.
This bit here.
Yeah.
Hand, this bit, and then just roll over.
Okay. So I won't get over.
Yeah, you will.
New Year's resolution.
In the show.
I got to see something there from a third person's point of view of something that I've been a part of many, many times, which was I'm saying to Michael, like, I don't think I can keep going. And you're like, yeah, you can. Just really quietly and confidently telling you can, and so you do.
It looked like an advert for injury lawyers for you. Have you had an accident at work?
Yes, I have. Explain who is the Witcher, what's he getting up to, what's occurring?
OK, The Witcher... what's occurring? The Witcher is based on a series of books by a guy called Andrew Sapkowski, and it is a fantasy genre series of books. And on the place called the Continent, which is the landmass where everyone lives, the typical fantasy tropes of gnomes, elves, dwarves, magic and monsters.
Gotcha.
Witches, however, are created by magic to fight monsters in particular. They're kind of like super soldiers with no political affiliation.
Okay.
And rumoured to have no emotions either.
But now, the books
Makes the
were
job
popular.
really easy.
The books, they were popular, like 15 million copies or something sold.
Yes.
But what really drove it then were the video games.
Yes, yeah, lots and lots of games. It's one of the highest-selling games ever. And I was a big fan of the game, and that's how I discovered it. That's why I discovered The Witcher.
See, it's a bit of the world that has passed me by. I have never played a video game. But you get into it, don't you? Like, didn't you nearly lost quite an important job?
Absolutely, yeah. I was playing a game called World of Warcraft. And,
I've heard of all of them.
Yeah. And I missed the call from Zack Snyder to tell me I got Superman.
But, like, did you hear the phone ringing?
I did.
And you chose to ignore it?
Absolutely.
Did you win the video game?
Sadly, no. But I did call Zack back afterwards.
Oh, yeah, that was wise. Yeah. I'm not a trained fighter myself, but I would have thought that hair is an accident waiting to happen. Like, you think the chain will get caught in your hair or something?
Yeah, oh, it does.
OK.
That stuff happens.
Would you not put a little sensible little man bun in for fight scenes and then have it down in the evening?
It is tied back.
Oh, that is?
Yeah, that is tied back. You should see it down. It's gorgeous.
Is it the same with the cape when you're Superman? Because I imagine the cape looks great, but I would imagine in the course of your everyday life, it's not going to go where you want it to go.
You can't walk backwards with capes.
You can't.
That's the rule.
You can't.
Oh, it's like flippers, capes and flippers.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you can only walk backwards in flippers.
Yes.
That's what it is, yeah. And you
don't wear them at the same time.
Yeah. You just stood still. Yeah, Aquaman. Yeah. Everyone's obsessed by The Last of Us, Pedro, which we're up to episode...
Very good. There you do have to that. Yeah. Big time.
Is it episode 6 we're at now?
It's episode 6.
Episode 6, OK. And Britain's own Bella Ramsey there.
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah. I had no idea she was British.
Really?
No.
Well, you saw Game of Thrones, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
Oh. No. What? It's got dragons in it. Why would I watch that?
Game of Thrones.
I mean, I've seen all your episodes.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't think I've ever read such good reviews for a television show. I mean, they're rapturous. Were you familiar with the game?
I didn't know about the game before I got the job. And then I got the job and I found out very quickly about the game. It's a very famous video game.
Yeah, I've heard.
That,
You haven't played The Last of Us?
No. It needed to be explained to me. But when I got the job, I was very familiar with HBO. I was very familiar with Craig Mazin, who created Chernobyl.
Yeah.
And but I called my sister, who's got 2 teenage boys, and I was on speakers when she answered. She was dropping them off at school, and she's like, "What's going on?" And I said, "Well, there's this job offer and or opportunity that it's based actually on a video game." And Bruno and Pedro are my nephew's names, and they're like, "What is it?" And I was like, "It's called The Last of Us! You better get that job!"
You talk about getting that job. Your experience of getting that job, quite hazy, I think.
Yeah. I was in London. This is horrible.
OK.
OK, so it all happened very, very quickly. It was a very strange thing where it was read the scripts, talk to Craig, and then, you know, it was getting later and later at night. And we're shooting in London at the time, and they needed me to stay up late to meet the creator of the video game and the executive producer, Carolyn Strauss, who was on Game of Thrones, and to continue kind of like, you know, trying to convince them to hire me for the job. And by the time it was all said and done, it was late, and I took an Ambien, a sleeping tablet.
That's strong.
To go to bed, yeah. Because I knew that I needed to, because I was, at that point, I was kind of hyped up.
Yeah. You've got to work the next day. You've got to
yeah, and I was excited about the prospect. So they called me to tell me that I had gotten the job, but I'd already taken the tablet. So I really didn't think, I thought that I would at least have to wait until the next day, you know? And
okay.
yeah, and I remember actually.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. And then like a couple of minutes on the call went by apparently, and I was like, so what's up? Did I get the job? And they were like, what are you talking about? We called you, we told you got the job. And I was like, oh, I did? And they're like, what's it? And I was like, oh, I took a tablet. I forgot that completely. Woke up in the morning, it was all like, oh my God, did I get the job? You know? I'm gonna have to wait all day. They're in LA. I'm in London. I'm gonna be waiting by the phone and everything. And I had gotten the job.
I'm surprised you kept the job. Hey, let's think again.